good question. Go for it.
Hi, I was just wondering if there's been any plans, forward-looking to really figure out and address how to set up, these cities during the transitional, phases. Say we are able to raise, national awareness, like who knows when the whole world, other nations would be on board. But let's say, for example, the United States, got on board. Are there like models set up to create like cities, like
Sure. Yeah, there's
things like that?
Lots of models, a lot of people doing work to break that issue down. As far as transitioning into, I mean, there's certain pockets of industry I could see that would be going green, little by little. There's a Global Redesign Institute that one of our advocates has going. It's in the development process, so the description goes something like, he wants to, the description is about designing a region like, say, Los Angeles, and figuring out exactly what you're talking about, like all the blueprints and designs, and seeing how we would do it without the interferences of everything we all, just learned about, money and protocols and patents and all that stuff. Yeah, Jen?
Are you going to be here tomorrow?
Yes, I plan on.
Okay, there's going to be a father-daughter speaking duo with an organization called Hologent, and they're actually trying to put together some sustainable village ideas and try out sort of different designs in a test arena to sort of see, they're kind of working on the stair-step designs of how do you do something sustainable within the monetary system. So if you're here tomorrow, you get to hear about their organization, but certainly there are many, like Hologent, they're just one, and we're all going to need them. We're all going to need lots of different organizations of people exploring and testing and learning. So if you have any inclination to do that, then I urge you to get connected with one of these and to begin learning how things work and start developing things on a smaller scale that can be scaled out eventually. It's just the scientific method in practice. And it's certainly something that a lot of, even within the chapters, people ask me, well, shouldn't we just take a chapter and do this? And I would just say, these organizations exist. Please get connected with them. They have their place in this process. But please also don't forget the root causes, because going back to the previous question, everybody really needs to have an awareness of that so we can keep progressing forward. So that, if when you have an understanding of systems theory, you would realize even if you built one sustainable village, in and of itself, there would be limitations, and then it wouldn't quite be sustainable because it would be still susceptible to all of the problems from the outside world coming in. We are all living on the same planet, and so we have a lot of things converging, problems that we talked about today in the films, and we're going to talk about them some more tomorrow. But like I said, I do encourage you, if you are inclined to learn more, to get involved. And really, it's sort of a natural thing that emerges when people find out about this information. They sort of start to get interested suddenly in science more than they did before, or green, sustainable designs when they hadn't ever thought about this kind of stuff before. So you'll find that that's a natural thing that people start to be drawn to as they even start to shift their own values toward what we ultimately want with the resource-based economy.
I just wanted to add to that. What if we finally get to the tipping point, even though we're still at the phase of just disseminating information? That's the #1 goal right now. But what if that was to come to pass? I would hope that it wouldn't happen just by one country. It would happen by a collective effort through the United Nations or something to that effect. But even more so, if it was to actually come to fruition, a call to order of all of the best civil engineering practices that are known in all of the fundamental things that we need between the delivery of water, power, sewer, building, materials, all of the very best of technology, the collective peak of what information and knowledge is known about building would be brought to order to focus on that first development. So while and if somebody hasn't necessarily per se driven up a, day-to-day, here's how we would build it right now, if we all embraced it when we get to that point, we would just naturally be drawn to using the best practices.
And I'm just going to take this opportunity once again to mention that tomorrow's event, it won't be at this location, it will be at the Henry Salvatore Computer Science Center, which is room Sal 101, so if you're coming tomorrow. Yeah, so please make sure if you don't have it, have one of these because it will set you to the correct parking structure and so forth. And also I had mentioned about Professor Baruch Kushnevis, who's going to be here tomorrow. And when you talk about the transitioning phases, he's also heading up contract crafting, which is a way of building that was mentioned in the movie. That is still within the monetary system, and even Hologent's looking to work within the monetary system. So you can start to see this building, you can start to see how this is going to be transitioning, but again, that's part of what the Zeitgeist Movement does, to look all the way through to ultimately where we want to go, and to keep that path crystal clear as we're going through all these transitions, which is what it's going to take. We've heard it said many times that we're actually in the transition. And speaking to what Joe had just mentioned, I actually ran into a friend of mine. We both didn't know we were involved in the movement, and I had known him and worked together as an engineer. And he was kind of shy about telling me what he was doing, but he goes, once we found out we're both in the movement, he really opened up and said, look, he goes, I got out of engineering because they don't want us to engineer anything new. And he goes, it's not for a lack of ideas. What he actually does now is run a paparazzi business with another coworker for financial reasons. So here you have someone who's very astute and is very intelligent, who's saying, you're just not giving us, this world is not giving us a place to really grow. So I don't think we're going to have a lack of ideas. So I actually look forward to the time when we can execute and take action on those ideas.
Okay, I got one here and then I'll get you.
Yeah, your last statement actually just tied into mine. As